Good morning. It is Tuesday, December 17th, and I am here with your energy reading for the week. This is the Crystal Hands casting sticker. I like to use it around the full and the new moon. And since we are right around that time for the full moon, figured it would be a good spread for this week. I'm also using the Out of Hand Pocket Edition. They will be shipping extremely soon. Okay. So the energy that we need to take a look at this week is the Queen of Cups. My deck's upside down. The Queen of Cups. So we're going to put that in the center. It's got that eye there. So this is what we're focusing on, right? So the Queen of Cups to me tells me about taking a little bit look deeper. Look into that part of you that has the ability to trust your own intuition and trust your instincts when it comes to what you're hearing, what you're feeling, and also in that space of just being able to rely on like your gut, like when you're being fed a bunch of BS, or when something just doesn't feel quite right. So this week, the Queen of Cups is asking us to tap into that part of us that's a little bit more intuitive, right? On one hand, we've got the Hierophant, and then on the other, we've got the Moon. And those cards with that Queen of Cups is telling me, like the Hierophant is saying, okay, so these are what you're being fed. This is the structures that you're being told. These are the rules, right? But just because somebody might be in an authoritative space doesn't mean that they're always correct. Like a good teacher has the ability to admit when they're wrong and to learn and to grow. So the Queen of Cups is asking you to take that energy of what you have learned and just look deeper, discern a little, the critical thinking. If you have to map it out in your journal, or maybe you have access to a whiteboard, just get it really out all on paper, right? Or get it out of your head. And then the Moon is revealing that not everything that we see is what it seems, right? So these cards this week, it's saying, yeah, this is what you think you know, and there's something deeper. Like something's being mirrored at us that isn't actually real, So I know there's a lot of like crazy energy going on right around now about, I live near New Jersey, so there's all those drone things and there's so much speculation. So I feel like if you're attributing to that, maybe it's like question what's being fed to you, and take a little bit of a moment to reflect, and it doesn't have to be just about the drones. It could be whatever you're being told, and just trust your intuition. Don't get caught up in the cycle of things, because like the Moon is about cycles, right? And if you take a look at the cycles of just even the past 30 days, so much has changed. Maybe you don't think the same things that you did a month ago, right? I'm going to bring in some big energies using, these are the major Arcana tokens. So this is the energy that we need to let go of. We've got the Sun. So we're going to throw that one up here. And that, to me, it's like, let go of the things that are maybe too bright, that are overshadowing everything. Like when it's so bright, sometimes you can't see. So you need to dim whatever it is that's taking up all the focus. Like let go of that. Doesn't mean you have to let go of the things that make you happy. Just means you have to kind of have it in moderation, right? And then with the full moon is about release, the new moon is going to be about the things that you should be planting for that next cycle that's coming up. Even though we're a couple weeks out, but still. Okay, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. And so the wheel is telling us to plant the seeds of change that you want to see, right? Like maybe right now things feel a little bit low, so what can you do to plant the seeds in order for that shift to naturally happen and for the wheel to come back on top, to come back to a positive light, right? Gonna bring in some Lenormands. The 2 on the side of the Sun is the Rider and the Sun. I love when they mirror, even though it's the Sun and Lenormand and Sun and tarot are sort of similar. And then we've got the dog, there's my Barney, and the snake. Okay. So pair that with those big energies, right? So like I said, our focus on being in touch with our intuitive self, like no matter what you're being fed, what you're being taught, what you're being told, always trust your intuition, trust that thing. If you don't have that ability to trust your own thoughts, because sometimes that happens and your gut is steering you wrong, maybe you need to meet up with the friend who is your trusted advisor, or who always has a way of saying just the right thing that like lands, right? And then again, it's the other hand is the things that are being reflected back on. Look to the time of just being like, what is being mirrored back to us? What is it an illusion? You know, like, is what they're telling us what's actually real, you know? So that's where that intuition. So what we need to let go of is these messages that seem too good to be true, right? So we have these bright messages, the news cycle is just shining too bright. Look at the undercurrent of that being like, if everybody's saying the same thing, question who has the most to benefit, right? There's a lot of distrust in the news in general. So this is where you have to come back to your own self of the Queen of Cups, of being able to trust your own inner knowing. And then that's going to plant these seeds down here, right? Like, so we have that Wheel of Fortune, the change. Like, there's going to be those things that you're loyal to that maybe you're a little bit shady, or maybe they're small obstacles, but they're going to be able to come together to help change the situation for you. So those are the seeds that you need to plant. And it's just something that you trust, and then also that might even be a little, you know, windy in nature. Like, it might not be a straight path to get to where you need to go. So you're going to have to really, again, trust that intuition. So I'm going to bring in some animal energies for the elements for the week. And so in air and thoughts, we have the possum. And the opossum is telling us to, you know, I love that it's at night, but the opossum is saying how essential your thoughts can be, but when they become so overloading, just scream it out. Like, just do what you need to do to be heard if you need to, but a lot of the opossum, like, just because you don't see it doesn't mean they're not there. So in the thoughts, it's going to take a little bit of, again, I keep coming back to this intuition because it's like the things that you're thinking are essential. So just remember that. But it's, again, it's your own intuition. So in the water, in the elemental realm, we have the owl, and the owl is telling us to be wise with our emotions. Again, all tying back into this Queen of Cups. Just trust that what you have, like, just because it might not, again, these are two animals that even though we don't see them all the time, they are around. And it's like in this nocturnal energy, especially in a full moon that's being illuminated. But the owl is telling us, again, to trust your feelings. So we got your thoughts are valid. Scream it out if you have to. Your feelings, you know what is right and wrong, right? The owl is telling you to make wise choices. The inspiration and fire, we have the squirrel. So the squirrel is telling you to reach out and grab what you need, even if it's a stretch for what's inspiring you. Just reach out and grab it. And then we have the earth here, that's going to help us stay grounded this week, is the deer. And that deer energy is saying, you know, be gentle with yourself when you're facing the difference between what is being told and what is like actually the illusions, right? So kind of all over the place, but full moons tend to bring out that chaotic energy. I know it is in our house right now, but just to keep yourself calm and in that focus, just trust your own intuition and know that the changes that you want to see are going to be, they're being laid out in front of you, but it's not going to be a straight road. So just do what you need to do in order to plant those seeds, because right now, whatever you've released that's no longer serving you, or those messages that are too good to be true, like find the one that feels right, and so that you can move forward with it. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments. If it didn't hit with you this week, that's okay. They don't always land. I do these so that you can kind of see how I use our casting tools, and sometimes when you talk it out and you have it going, the message comes back. I do recommend that if you are going to try out tarot casting in your own practice, to record them and then play them back, and you'll be surprised what you'll hear, because sometimes that energy is just all over the place, but when you hear it, it really can land. But again, I know I said this in the last few videos, and I'm going to keep saying it until probably the new year. I'm going to be limiting my time on Meta come January. So if you're seeing this video any place other than YouTube, please be sure to go to my YouTube and subscribe, and then let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you next week. Bye.